Have you ever fallen for someone who turned out to be nothing like they seemed? That's what falling in love with a sociopath is all about. I'm Tiffany Walker. I'm a model, actress, and the author of Falling in Love with a Sociopath, a romantic tragedy that's sexy, dark, and fictional. So, it follows Tori, a woman who thinks that she's met her dream man until the dream turns into a beautiful nightmare. Okay, so the inspiration behind falling in love with a sociopath was just like what I have read in my lifetime. Just like reading Zane books in high school, and I loved like Basic Instinct, that movie. So like I kind of just made it like Sex in the City, but just a little darker, because it's really glamorous and it takes place in New York City. There's a lot of fashion. She actually owns a clothing store. So yeah, like I kind of just mixed up everything that I love and made a fictional story that I thought would be really interesting and riveting, and just like a page turner for the girlies, you know? Okay. I do want to be honest. It's not about me. Whenever I tell people that I'm an author, people always ask like, okay, so this book is about you, and I'm like, no, it's just a fictional novel. That's all. It's just like a cool story. So why did I write Falling in Love with a Sociopath? I just love reading, and I've always loved reading. Like ever since I was a kid, I was reading all the Junie B. Jones books, and in high school, my cousin put me on to the Zane books. And as an adult, I've just like really committed to always reading a book, like always. So yeah, I mean, I wanted to do something that was genuine to me instead of doing what other people think I should do or what other people expect me to do. Writing a book, I feel like, was just so genuine and real for me to my core. You know what I mean? And I have a sore throat. I just feel like being a writer, like I want to just be like a successful writer, and just like, because I'm such an introvert, so I would love like a more introvert career. I always end up getting those like jobs where like it's the most social job in the world. Like I always get the most social jobs ever, and I'm literally an introvert. So I always have to like struggle to deal with people. And like I wish that I could just fly to Paris and be like, oh, I'm doing research for my next romance novel. So yeah, that's why I wrote Falling in Love with a Sociopath. I want to be an author. So the writing process for me, I actually wrote Falling in Love with a Sociopath like a decade ago, when I lived, like before I even moved to LA, I was like, you know, starting different businesses and, you know, just trying to find myself. And so I wrote this novel and I was trying to get it published. And I felt like if no one published it, that means it's not meant to be, it's not good enough, and just leave it alone. So I pitched it to a few publishers and it didn't get picked up to be published. So it just sat on my iCloud for a decade. And you know, just I think being older and wiser, I realized that success is really just like taking my own initiative. So I'm not like waiting to be chosen. If other people don't see the gem that I am, like, I'll do it without them and I'll live my own life. And so I just decided to publish it a year ago. I read it over and edited everything and whatever. And yeah, so when people ask how long it took, I'm like, I don't remember. Because it was so long ago. Like, it was literally a decade ago, like back when I lived in New Jersey. And I don't remember how long it took. But I don't think it took that long because I really can get in my zone. And when I want something, I really just like have that tunnel vision. Yeah. So with the cover, I chose this cover because I love comic art. And growing up, I would always we would go to the comic stores and I would always get the comics, like the girl comics. And when my dad was reading the newspaper, he would give me like the comic section, you know, like the girl comic section, you know what I mean? So I just always love this type of art. So this was really fun for me to just create a really unique and fun and like meaningful cover for me. I told my publisher, Archway Publishing of Simon and Schuster, you know, what I really wanted, and they brought it to life perfectly. I was like, I want this type of comic art. I don't want her to have a skin complexion because I don't believe in nationality, and I want her to have blue hair because I feel like that's so cool. And she's like just crying with the money because, like I said, it's actually a really glamorous novel. It's like I would describe it Sex in the City times like Zayn times like, who's that lady? Nora Roberts. Like, it's just like, it's cool and glamorous, and it takes place in New York City, in the fashion capital, and it's very fashion and it's very girly. So, yeah, I wanted to clarify that because a lot of people do think it's about me, and a lot of people are like, so when they read the title, it's Falling in Love with a Sociopath, so they figure that it's like a guy that I dated that I decided to write a book about. And that's not it at all. It's really a glamorous novel. So, I mean, I know like my fan base is mostly men, but I really don't care about men. I'm a girl. I'm just a girl. And I like girly things and I love fashion. And this really is like a girly book, honestly. So, I would tell everybody to grab Falling in Love with a Sociopath on whatever reading platform that you use. Kindle, iBooks. I personally use iBooks. Kindle, iBooks, Amazon. I'm actually working on getting it in like the actual stores. Honestly, it's literally a call away. Like, it's not that complicated. But yeah, so it's anywhere online that you buy books, Amazon, Kindle, you can get it delivered. I personally like iBooks just because I go through books, and I just love like that it's always on my phone, and I can just, wherever I am, I can just read my book. Like, what if I forget it? What if my purse is too small? you know? So I love the convenience of iBooks, that it's just in my phone. So yeah, I feel like I should like read a couple pages just to start. Falling in Love with a Sociopath by Tiffany L. Walker. I didn't think that it was gonna be like a magazine. Like, I thought it was gonna be a small book. Sex, love, betrayal, but who's really playing the game here? Looking back on it, all Chad knew how to do was damage things. How detrimental of me to give him my heart. This is one thing that I do love. I love that the novel has like the art on the pages. I think that's so cool. So first chapter, collision. Tori rushed out her door with her Chanel purse in one hand and phone, keys, and portable tea mug in the other. She ran to her building elevator to go down to the lobby and catch her Uber to her boutique. Tori owns a trendy women's apparel boutique in Soho, New York. So trendy, so cool. Good thing I made that move to New York, she thought to herself. Tori is a Jersey girl born and raised, but with her new clothing store commencing in the fashion capital, she thought it would be appropriate to move to the Big Apple and a fresh start as well. Furthermore, she was late for everything. Her vicinity from her apartment to her store made her transit much easier in the morning. She hopped in her Uber and made her way to Body. As she climbed out of her Uber, she bumped into a slim man carrying big empty boxes. Her chai tea fell on the floor as well as all of his boxes. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm always rushing. She apologized, astounded. He looked at her reverenced. No, that's okay. I wasn't looking, he said to her as he picked up her portable mug. I'm Chad. Do you need more of that? You spilled it all, Chad asked as he handed her the portable mug. She smiled at him as they both gazed at each other. No, thank you. Sorry about that again. She quickly ran off to open her boutique doors and left him staring at her butt. She could feel his eyes on her back as she entered her boutique and set up for the day. Troy was on the computer taking in inventory when she heard a man's voice. I didn't know exactly what you like, but here. Chad put a cup of Starbucks, is it chai or chai? Chai? Chai tea on her store counter. I've actually never drunk chai. I'm a matcha girl. She grinned at him, locking into his gaze. Thanks. Yeah, so what's your name? You never told me, he persisted. Tori. She put her hand out for him to shake. Chad, he said, holding her hand delicately. There's this restaurant around the corner from here that we could go to for your lunch break. She was taken aback at his confidence. She giggled. What kind of food do they have? All kinds of food. She looked down at her computer to see her progress on taking in inventory and what time it was. Remind you, I've never worked in a clothing store. So, I closed the store at 10 tonight. You could pick me up from here if that works, she replied. In all candor, Tori ran the store herself, hindering her from leaving her boutique throughout the day. All right, I'll come for you tonight, he said, putting his business card down on her register counter. He made his way to the door. "I'm excited to see you tonight," he confessed in a sweet tone before he left her store. She felt the butterflies in her stomach fluttering. She couldn't find words to come out, only a big smile and a blushing pink face. You know, like, what that feels like when it's like, when you have a new crush, you know what I mean? So yeah, I just wanted to give a little sneak peek. But yeah, a lot of people, some people ask me if I wrote this book myself. I want to say that I wrote this book a decade ago. So ChatGPT did not help me with this book. I wrote this book all on my own. I'm really proud of myself. I love writing. I really do. I've always been a writer. Like, when I was a little girl, I would journal a lot and I would read a lot. Like, I was always like a really introverted little girl. And, then I became super hot. Preteen years as a woman develops. And then people are like, "Why are you shy? Like, you're not supposed to be shy." And it's like, what does me being hot have to do with me liking y'all as people? Like, so anyway, check out my novel. It's a romance fictional novel. Let me know what you think. I really appreciate the support. Thank you guys. Like, share, subscribe.